Hello Drive Radio fans, Richard Rush here today with my dad, John Rush, behind the camera. And this is the review of the 2016 Lexus NX300h. This is the hybrid model. We'll go through a lot of the different features, but for those of you that are familiar not only with our reviews, but also with Lexus and Toyota systems, you'll know they work tremendously well. We're not going to dive really a ton deep into the hybrid system. We've done a lot of other reviews on that. So really this is kind of the only new thing pretty much for 2016, not the hybrid itself. This color is actually new for 2016. There's two new colors, I believe. The Autumn Shimmer, the Blue Vortex, which is what this one is, as well as the Lexus N-Form system. So real quick, actually, let's just jump right into the review. Dad, let's kind of give them a look around. For those of you familiar with the NX, they debuted it last year, and it came out and was an all-new model, completely built from the ground up. Really, and I guess for those of you that are looking for a comparison, it's Lexus's version of the RAV4. It's a little bit smaller of a vehicle, so obviously compared to its RX brother, sister, whatever you want to call it, it's got some really tremendous sleek lines on it, sleek looking to it, and it's actually been an inspiration for a lot of what Lexus has done on, for example, the RX. For those of you familiar with the RX, we did a review on that as well. There's some of the shape of kind of these curved windows and such. They've really transferred that styling over into the RX. So overall, honestly, a car that we are a fan of. We like it. There's not quite as much room on the interior, but again, expect that with this vehicle. You're not going to be getting as much room as you would get on an RX or another vehicle in this segment. But I guess, like I said, the RAV4. A couple things I will note, Lexus is just a personal preference. Buying a Lexus, which speaking of price on this, $47,818 for this model as it sits. And as we're starting to do, here's what your options are. It has a base price, $41,310, the all-weather drive performance credit of $1,590, the QI compatible wireless charging for $220, the electrochromic auto-dimming inside rearview mirror, so a fancy way of saying the inside mirror dims for you, $125, the navigation package for $1,875, the auto-dimming outside mirrors for $660, intuitive park assist for $500, power back door, which we'll show you in just a second, for $400, the premium package, which gives you your 18-inch wheels, your season tires, heated and ventilated front seats, premium LED lighting, $2,670, so $2,670, leather heated steering wheel for $150, illuminated door wheels for $459, and a cargo mat, again, which we'll show you in just a second, for $99. For all that, Lexus, I would say this, please, 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 windshield wiper would fit really nicely under here. Even if you extended this just a bit to fit the wiper mechanism inside here, I wouldn't complain too much. Most people wouldn't know. It's a personal preference and would not prevent us from buying this vehicle, just something that we like to note. So with that, actually, Dad, why don't we just keep rolling right into the review. We'll power liftgate, like I said. You hit the button, you can hear it beep, and it does open up, which is a really nice feature, a nice power liftgate. Had a lot of different pieces of cargo here in the back. Again, continually moving a house, for those of you who know, takes a long time, so you're able to do that with this vehicle. You got a nice privacy shield, which we just showed you. This is the cargo mat. Really quick, going to show you underneath it. There's some storage, so you just lift up right here. There's some storage right here, more back here, as well as more storage down in here. This is just a foam insert, and all you do is you lift it out. It's hard to see, but there is actually the spare tire down there, and even some more storage. If you wanted to put a tool kit or a med kit down there, you would have the ability to do so, as well as you've got the Lexus first aid kit up here. You've got some power ports along here with some tie downs. This is the privacy screen. It can come out depending on what you're doing with the vehicle if you want it to. One other thing, Dad, and we'll show you that, but you also do have, for the rear seat belt, or for the second seat belt, they do kind of come back right here. And so we'll actually, you know what, I'll just show you right here really quick, because these do not power fold down. You lift up on the side and fold them down. If you'll notice, you have to manually move this strap over here kind of on this side to keep it out of the way, but it is over here on this side, and there is, if I'm not mistaken, it's clipped in over here. So there is a safety release button that you can release the seat belt and tuck it up in here. We'll show you it over here on this side as we get to that. And actually, Dad, why don't you just come around to this side, and I'll put this back, and kind of show people, I'll step out of the camera, where you can actually put that buckle up on the kind of up and out of the way if you are folding these seats down quite a bit. It does definitely gives you some great functionality there. So as we have this open, why don't we just slide into the back seat. This is set in the exit mode. This model does have the entry exit mode on it. So set in the exit mode, decently far back, but I'll kind of go ahead and show you what it looks like. So again, in exit mode, 5'9", 5'10", and I still have 2-3 inches left of room. One other thing to note, with the slope of the design of the roof line, it's a little bit more intense and as sharp of a curve right here. So if you're a taller individual, whatever it might be, you're going to have to kind of duck your head getting in and out of the vehicle rather than just being able to slide in real easy, very easy. As we come into the rest of the interior, we'll kind of show you what's here. Really nice apportionments along the door. Kind of a nice carbon fiber insert right here. Really nice soft touch materials throughout. This nice soft touch leather. I just think it's beautiful. Lexus, as always, has done a fantastic job. As we kind of come onto the interior of the vehicle, there are 2 vents that are right here, as well as you do have 2 cup holders right here. There's not heated and ventilated front seats or rear seats back here at all. That's not a huge thing, just something to note. Again, for a car this size, these are reasonable apportionments for this back seats, as well as your LED lighting up there. You do have the sunroof, so something to note, that you do lose a little bit of roof line, or headroom, I should say there. Not something that would probably prevent me from buying the car, just something I would like everyone to kind of notice. So with that, we'll actually pause the review, hop into the front seat, and show you a few of the interior features before we take the 2016 Lexus NX300h for a drive. Alright fans, here we are for the front seat. Again, as we always do, just want to show you some of the apportionments in the front interior. It's a lot easier to see than when we're driving. Really similar apportionments to the back seat there, or in terms of the door. Really nice, really handy. The seat is absolutely fantastic in here. They're very comfortable. I love the black kind of leather trim that they've added onto here. The seats are really comfortable, as I just mentioned. Heated and ventilated front seats. As you kind of continue the apportionments, again, some nice soft touch materials right here. More of those inserts. You do have the typical Lexus system. This does come, and I believe the NX, and Dad, correct me if I'm wrong on this, was one of the first systems to introduce the mouse pad right here. Gives you actually kind of haptic feedback when you do move around. Really a relatively easy system to get used to, especially for my generation. I do know, Dad, and you can comment on this later in the view if you'd like, but it's a system that takes some getting used to as you get moving along, especially for your generation rather than mine. He's kind of given me a definitely. It is harder to get used to than some of the other systems that we do drive. But the rest of the interior is what you'll find in a Lexus. Honestly, just very nice, high quality furnishings, very easy to use and operate the audio system. We're going to keep this review shorter, so for those of you that like to look at the kind of tech infotainment side of things, check out our other review. We're trying to keep this review condensed for those of you that haven't seen the NX and or the hybrid before. You can check this out, but the infotainment system will be in another review. And honestly, other than that, oh, one quick thing, really quick. Right here next to where you would rest your hand, there's a little compartment down here. So not only is this a compartment that you can store some keys or whatever else you might, but it's got a mirror. Cool. Just a different little feature that you can pull out, I guess, especially for you ladies, and this definitely might be a car that more ladies might buy than men. You've got a mirror, a pocket-sized mirror, instead of having to put it in your purse, you've got it right in your vehicle at all times. So with that, let's actually kind of, again, pause the review. We'll put my dad in the back and we'll take a drive in the 2016 Lexus NX300h. All right, fans, here we are to get started on the driving portion. One thing I did forget to mention before, the second row seating, rear seating, whatever you would like to call it, they do recline. So the same lever that I lifted to put the seats down, you can actually do that to recline the back of the seats and make it a little bit more comfortable for your back seat passengers. So with that, let's jump right into the review. Here's the rear view camera. It does have the dynamic grid lines on here, so as I pull up to the curb, I'm able to do so relatively easily without much resistance at all, especially if you're using the mirrors. You do have the blind spot monitoring on there, no dynamic cruise control, but again, really easy screen, easy to see, easy to operate and to maneuver. So as we get driving, everyone, just kind of want to talk a little bit about the hybrid system as we get moving. Something that Lexus has added specifically for this NX that not a lot of other hybrid systems have is the ability to downshift, which really is nice and is a really handy feature for those of you that are familiar with hybrids or drive them a lot or on a lot of different occasions. It's a great feature that not a lot of other manufacturers have added, and it just is one more thing that puts Lexus and Toyota ahead of the pack when it comes to the hybrid drive system. We're going to be quiet real quick as we're going about 25-30 miles an hour so you can hear the interior. Really quiet. Lexus has done a tremendous job here on the interior. We know a lot of you say, oh, well, you're only going 25-30 miles an hour. You need to get up to highway. We can tell you this from experience. Tremendously quiet on the highway. Can have a full-fledged conversation without having to speak very loudly. Very easy to, again, carry on a conversation not only with the front seat passengers, but as well as the back seat passengers. In terms of get up and go with this hybrid system, works really, really well. You're at a stoplight, and one thing I will mention here really quick, and Dad will pull over because I think someone may end up being behind us. There's a hold button down here. We won't show it to you, but you push the hold button. I'm going to take my foot off the brake, and the car will now stay stopped until I press the gas pedal again to get it moving forward. So for those of you who think, oh, well, that means your brake lights aren't on the back. No, Lexus has thought about this. The brake lights are on in the back of the vehicle, and again, once you press the gas pedal, it will actually kind of push you forward and you can start rolling there. Acceleration is fantastic, works really, really well. Miles per gallon, let me tell you what it's rated for, and then I'll tell you what we've been averaging. It's rated for 33 city, 30 highway. Again, for those of you who know the hybrid system, you know why. We've been able to average about 35 miles per gallon, and that's combined with my lead foot with my dad's slow foot, and he'll beg to differ that he's just a safe driver, but I think he's slow. So that's a pretty healthy average. We feel like you'd maybe right around the 32, 33 mark with this hybrid system. One thing we have not shown you yet, sunroof. Right up here, we mentioned it in the back, but we didn't show it to you. I know lighting makes it a little bit more difficult, so we'll close that in just a second, but a nice wide sunroof makes it really nice, especially here on these hot summer days in Colorado or wherever you might be, just a really nice feature. So what else do we think of this vehicle? I guess what is our opinion of the 2016 Lexus NX300h? When they debuted it last year, we were pretty excited about it. We got to go to the launch, and Lexus is very excited about it. We think this car fits kind of definitely a market segment that hasn't been addressed by Lexus in the past. Again, kind of that similar to that RAV4 market. Actually had my wife in here driving, and as we start to start a family here in a few years, definitely a car she actually said she would look at. They're definitely Lexus people. She likes the roominess of it. She also likes the compact size that allows you to fit it into tight parking spaces, fit it into a parking garage, whatever it might be. Gives you the ability to do that, which is a really nice, handy feature in our opinion. So overall, she was impressed with it. What are some cons about this car? Well, some of you are going to say, well, this is just a big RAV4 and it's $10,000 more. Yes, but some people like the Lexus luxury and are be willing to pay for it. So we wouldn't say price is a con. As I mentioned before, the rear window wipers, I would like to see that addressed. And the last thing would be, again, check out our other reviews for more information. But the system, the mouse pad system that Lexus is integrated into here, if you like it and you're used to it, it works. If you don't like it, you're not going to like this car, and I would highly recommend you don't buy it. But if you do, and as we encourage everyone, get out and test drive these cars yourselves, find out if you not only how the car drives, but the other creature comforts of the vehicle. So with that being said, please head to your local Lexus dealer, check out the vehicle, again, the 2016 Lexus NX300h, and if you do, tell them that John and Richard Rush from Drive Radio sent you.